Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the career mode. I suggest that you stick around to the end of this one, because there is a very good twist at the end of this episode. But we're going to get straight into it, jumping into qualifying. This is our one and only qualifying one run. I haven't done France in a long time, so I was getting used to the track as the video was going on, and you'll see later on in this race that we didn't have the greatest pace ever. Even in qualifying we didn't have the best pace. I think this was the first time in the season in which we were out qualified by Lando Norris. In the past I've had good luck at this track, which is why I turned the AI up. We're running 104 compared to 103 in the last race. But I still think that part of the lack of pace was down to just me not having practiced here for a long time. But the qualifying run in Q1 hasn't been that bad. A few moments here and there. We do take a lot of curb on the entrance, so I'm surprised that wasn't a lap invalidation. And this corner is really tricky to get right. If you brake ever so slightly early or late, or get on the throttle ever so early or late. Gear shifting really matters around this track as well, because you've got the super long straights and then the super long corners in which you need lots of rotation for. But overall it hasn't been that bad. As we come through to the final corner now, going down into third, you should try and avoid that curb as much as you can. As you can see, it completely unsettled the car on exit, but overall it hasn't been that bad. We come across the line in P11 and we go to Q2 now. In our first lap you can see much more overcast conditions. It looks like it might start raining, but fortunately it was a dry quali and race. We get a much better run through turns 1 and 2 compared to our qualifying 1 run, and we go much better through the end of sector 1, almost nailing every single corner. We don't turn in quite quick enough for the slow right hander there, which has compromised our exit a tiny little bit. We managed to get on the power pretty good, taking a decent amount of curb, probably a little bit too much as it unsettled the car, causing us to slide over to the other side of the track a bit more than I would have liked. But overall not bad so far. 209 miles an hour we hit as we come down into the heavy braking zone, taking a lot of entry curb to give us the maximum exit that we can possibly get, and it is a very good run through there as we come to the end of sector 2, again reaching almost 200 miles an hour as we turn in. We lose a bit of speed through this right-hander coming into the super long right-hander, and going all the way down to 4th. We do go a bit wider than our Q1 run, but that does allow us to get a better exit. And we almost nail this corner as well. We could have gone a bit closer to the apex there and got on the power a little bit quicker, but overall not a bad lap. A good amount of rotation into this penultimate corner into 3rd, and no curb, so a lot better than our previous lap, or at least it felt like it. And this does get us into Q3 just ahead of our teammate. As now our Q3 lap starts, I've left it till right at the end of the session just to try and get the best amount of track evolution. We get a decent run, not as good as our Q2 lap, but better than our Q1 lap through the first 2 turns, and a bit wide on entry there, which doesn't allow us to get a good entrance, but we do manage to keep it super tight through there, which is really good. A lot of wheel spin now on exit, which is going to cost us at least half a tenth, if not an entire tenth. We take a much better line through that fast left-hander onto the main straight though, and we're all the way up into 8th gear already. 205, 206, 209 miles an hour, exactly the same as we were before. A lot more curb we took this time on the second part of the chicane, which did allow us to rotate the car a little bit better than we did before. We're running 12-10 wings, so the rear is a bit loose on this setup. I know a lot of other people tend to run a little bit lower wings, but I prefer the bite in the front end around a lot of these corners, particularly through here, as we get the best run of the entire quali sessions in this Q3 lap. This is going to be very close to our Q2 lap as we get a better run through the left-hander into the penultimate corner there, and again a good run through here, but we managed to go a bit wide, but we cut back to try and get a good amount of momentum, but we take way too much curb at the apex, which has compromised our exit, as we go as a straight line to the line as possible, and it does put us P9 on the grid. But the 5 red lights are here, but they are also gone as we go for the French Grand Prix. We get a terrible, terrible start as we have Gasly and Schumacher overtaking us. That's P9 to P11, but we go all the way around the outside. Gasly's had an accident. We go all the way around the outside of multiple cars, and that's P7 at the end of the chicane. Everyone was going so slowly through there, and I saw a gap around the outside, so I figured I'd go for it. Now we're behind Norris and Hamilton. We go all the way around the outside, but we can't make anything happen as we hit the back of Hamilton. And now both of them going side by side has compromised their entrances and exits, but we don't manage to make anything happen on Hamilton as he goes wide and he completely overreacts and moves out of the way for us, so I won't complain. I'll take another free position. But now we're behind Norris, our teammate. We're using overtake, but everyone else seems to be running a lot less downforce. Plus, we do have a very worn engine in this car. You'll see later on we start getting some warnings about the engine power. The 2 cars up ahead, Russell and Sainz, are going really slowly, which makes Norris slow down, which gives us an even better opportunity to attack him. But he's already running away. As he moves to the side of Sainz, we deactivate our ERS as they're going to get terrible runs because of going side by side through there. You can lose up to 10-15 kilometers an hour. They go really wide, both of them, and we go up the inside of each of them. We do get a pretty bad exit though, as we get loads of wheel spin. We're off track. But Norris has gone to our inside, but we keep the inside, and going out the outside is not going to work through there. So we do manage to hold on to the position as Russell gets a lot of wheel spin on the exit. I was scared that he was going to make a good gap to us, but he's got damage and he runs into the pits quickly, which promotes us to P3 behind Leclerc and Verstappen. However, they are on the hard tyres, so we should have the pace advantage, but we're not going to be able to catch up to them as we're going to advance to the end of the start of the lap 10, as I think we're going into the pits. Yes, we are going into the pits for, nope, wrong lap. We're letting Norris through. Oh yeah, I remember this. So I was unable to catch up to Leclerc and Verstappen without completely destroying my tyres, and I figured that if I wanted to make this pit stop work, this strategy, we're gonna have to back off. So I decided that because our pace was slower, we should let Norris through, and now we pit on lap 11. So my strategy for this was to hold up the Mercedes and the Ferrari for Norris to run away and try and get the podium position. However, all of those faster cars around us were on a different strategy to us. We've started on the mediums, where if they've all started on the hards, we're going to advance all the way to lap 23. You can see we've been holding up the cars a lot. Hamilton goes to our inside for P5, and Sainz goes all the way around the outside, but he hits us. A tremendous shunt from him, as we almost missed the apex of the corner, and because of them going side by side, it allows us to escape from Hamilton. But Sainz, I don't know what he was trying to do there. There's no way you can go around the outside of us around there, especially considering that we can break a lot later into any of the AI. I don't know what he was thinking he'd be able to do there. So he's now got damage as we skip to the straight on lap 24. We move immediately over to the side using all of the overtake, and we deactivate it as I feel like we can break later than Hamilton into here, as we keep him really far over, which allows us to break even later and go all the way around the outside. That's what I'm talking about. Sainz is not going to be able to break later than us there, which is why he ended up getting the damage, and that's why he's ended up pitting. But Hamilton's already come back at us. Since we're not using the overtake, we shove him all the way off track, and we have the inside now, which is the better line because we can carry more momentum. And now we're on the inside. Realistically, there's no way Hamilton's going to be able to go all the way around the outside. But at the time, I didn't think of that, and so I ran really deep, which allowed Hamilton to get the switch back on us. But as I said on a previous lap, you are not going to be able to get around the outside of the car there unless you're on a better compound of tyres. And he is not able to make anything happen as we skip to the end of lap 27 now of the race. And Hamilton's still unable to get past. You can see how much I was trying to help hold everyone up for Norris, because he's on a 20-second lead of us, and Perez 8 seconds ahead of him. So unfortunately, Norris is unable to get a podium spot. But we're going to come across through the penultimate corner into the final one. We're holding up Hamilton. There's no way he's going to be able to get us now, as we get on the power as quickly as we can. Overtake activated just in case he got a really good run on us, and that is P5 for the French Grand Prix.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they've secured here.
Here you can make salary demands to the team. Any extra over your base salary will go into your perk fund. The more you demand, the lower the chances of our success. Do make sure that you don't go demanding anything unrealistic for your acclaim level. If you do, the team might refuse to negotiate any more with you in this negotiation period.